Okay, renowned former peacekeeper, hostage negotiator, private detective, and major crimes detective, I should say, Paul Nadeau is back with his latest book, The Hostage Effect. It takes a look at things in our life, whether personal or impersonal, from the government, the media, society that holds us hostage, and how we can overcome those chains. So joining us live now is Paul Nadeau, author of The Hostage Effect, breaking through the chains of mental and political domination. Paul, thank you so much for coming in. I feel like you wrote this book very quickly because it's very timely. Your last book, Take Control of Your Life, was about reclaiming personal power, but The Hostage Effect feels more urgent and more global. So what makes this book different from your previous one, and why did you feel the need to write it now?
Oh, great. Good morning, and thank you very much, Jennifer. I did write this book very quickly, but I wasn't intending on writing it. I'd written a few books, mental wellness and on negotiations, and I was feeling, as many people were feeling, with all the world events, the wars that are going on, the politics, the politicians, everything. I was feeling this sense of anxiety, distress. I was feeling like a hostage. And I have two life lessons that I've learned and applied in my work career and in my life. First one was, we're more similar than we are different. Everybody laughs, loves, and bleeds in the same way, and we feel the same things. But I'd forgotten that the rest of the world was probably feeling as anxious as I was, with all the different political uncertainty, the wars that were going on. And a friend reached out to me on social media, and she said, "Can we talk?" And she was the woman who edited my first book, and we got on a telephone conversation, and she said, "Are you feeling it, Paul?" And I said, I am. She says, "If there was ever a time for you to write a book about how we are feeling hostaged in our own world, in our own worlds, everyone is feeling this way, this is it." After the phone call, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, I had no intention of writing it. But I felt compelled that I had to share a message. So I sat in my room for 13 and a half weeks, 6 to 8 hours a day, and committed myself. But it was almost as though there was a voice that was guiding me in writing this one. So yeah, that's how it all originated. Okay, Paul, you've negotiated with terrorists. You've seen just things out of a Hollywood movie in terms of trauma, rescuing boys who were abused from a basement. You yourself have had a very abusive childhood with your father, saying that he killed Santa Claus when you were 7 years old and then taking his own life. But in this book, you suggest that some of the most dangerous captors aren't the ones with guns. And in fact, a line stands out to me. You say the most dangerous chains are the ones we cannot see. So who exactly is taking us hostage in 2025? And I know you provide a blueprint for how to break free from all the things that seem to be holding us hostage that we seem to have no control of these days. Yeah, what an excellent question. What is happening is that we are being psychologically taken captive, and that is by our leaders who every day are announcing something different that will make a significant difference in your life, and many times it will be bad. You may lose your job. Some people are fearing being abducted on the street and taken away. There's so much. So that psychological captivity, that is coming from our leaders. It's coming from our social media feeds that are feeding us certain things. And while we scroll, we're getting certain information that gets us angry and uncertain about what's going to happen next. So our captors are the ones who are slowly taking away our voices, and we're almost afraid to speak up anymore as a result of what may happen politically or from our leaders, or even socially, when people are going to say, "Well, you don't think the same way that I do, so you've got to be wrong." So we become quiet. We lose our autonomy. We lose our agency. We lose our right to live freely and without fear all the time. Fear is a weapon. Awareness, I talk about awareness in the book. Be aware of what is happening. Be aware that you have rights. Be aware that you can speak up when things are not the way that you feel that they ought to be. Be a critical thinker and ask, who profits from what I'm hearing right now? Social media is keeping me captive. I'm afraid to speak out. I'm afraid to go to a meeting at a school and say, hey, this isn't right. What's happening in my school isn't right. I want to be I don't want to be silenced. That's the problem. So our captors are the politicians, the social media scrolls that we go on to.
Tech giants.
Tech giants.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, exactly. Those are the kind of captors. And it's not the first time, but in today's world where so much is accessible to us and we're getting news 24/7, some of it is good information, some of it is misinformation, some of it is disinformation. We have to weed through all that, but we can also take the break that we were talking about. When we feel this pressure, sometimes we have to disengage and just start feeding ourselves with things that are positive and just speaking up and meeting people who think like us and talk like us.
Yeah, absolutely. You say that some of the most dangerous hostage situations are the ones where you feel like you have that illusion of freedom.
Yes.
Paul, thank you so much for joining us. I wish we had more time to talk about it. I hope everyone gets a copy and reads The Hostage Effect, Breaking Through the Chains of Mental and Political Domination. Very important work and an important conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Pleasure meeting you, Paul. Thank you.